Hello everyone! As many of you know, Microsoft unveiled many new things for the Xbox One at this year's E3. I'm here to talk with you about all of it. Firstly, let's just discuss their graphics. It looks like next-gen graphics are going to be stunning. Some of the new things I saw made me just want to cry because it was so beautiful. I'd say that their graphics were best displayed in some of their exclusive game reveals, such as Rise, Son of Rome. Speaking of exclusives, I'd like to share with you my thoughts on a couple that Microsoft showed at this year's E3. As I've already mentioned, Rise, Son of Rome was announced and debuted at this year's E3. The gameplay looked dazzling because the graphics were just so extremely beautiful, and just playing the game, the combat, stuff like that, it looks really fun and like it's going to provide hours and hours and hours of really good entertainment. A couple other things were like flaming balls of fire falling right at you from a catapult, or protecting yourself and an entire group of 10, 20, 30 people blocking their shields up to deflect arrows flying at them from above. This is definitely one of my top games for anticipation as this next gen of video games arrives. Another great game will be Forza Motorsports. While every racing game is about the same, Forza just had ideas for the graphics and gameplay that set it apart for me, and that make me really excited for it. Plus, no other racing game can really compete when Forza brings out from under the ground a beautiful red car. It's hard to compete with, if not impossible. Now, have you ever wished you could stop time or be in your own TV show? Have you ever wished both? Have you ever wished just one of them really hard? Microsoft showed that both of these are closer to being within your grasp than ever with their new game, Quantum Break. I don't think any gameplay was shown, but it's really vying for being in that top spot for most exciting, most anxiously awaited next-gen game for me, just because of its great idea, and it seems like there's going to be a lot of choices and a lot of customization as you play through the game. Now, while that game may sound like it has endless possibilities, here is a game that will blow your mind. Project Spark. It's a game where you custom design your own levels, and you can add scripts, I believe, to make objects do really crazy things. When you were a little kid, you probably had a pet rock, right? But Project Spark takes the idea of a pet rock to reality, as you can make a rock jump around and follow you as if it were a pet. Or you can change it into a fighting ninja of pure awesome. Or even, you can make it into a huge, gigantic mech fighter robot that pillages and destroys everything in its path. This is definitely exciting, and I'm really anxious to play a game that will be all mine, and nobody else will have the same experience, no matter what they do. I've discussed a lot of exciting and not so exciting things about this year's E3 Microsoft conference, but there's one thing that I haven't talked about that just made my jaw drop so far to the floor that I was afraid I'd never pick it back up again. This thing is called Titanfall. Titanfall seems to be a game about way in the future where people wear these suits and they can fly around, use jetpacks, and it's basically all just killing each other. But they also have Titans, which are large mech robots, fighter robots with guns and all kinds of awesome machinery weapons that they can jump inside and control. And these foot soldiers are fighting these mechs are fighting the foot soldiers, and foot soldiers against foot soldiers, mechs against mechs. It just sounds great. And I think this game is like almost guaranteeing my #1 spot for most exciting game of this next generation. Now, this just about wraps up my talk about the Microsoft E3 conference this year. And there isn't too much more to talk about that I can fit into this segment, but just keep in mind it's exciting, and I would advise you guys to go and search for more information yourself if you're really, really excited about it. Now, for those of you that haven't heard about the price Microsoft is setting for the Xbox at launch, the Xbox One will cost $499, €4.99, and you guys can do the rest of the conversions for your local currency. However, $500 is just about right where I expected them to price the Xbox. It wasn't a surprise. Sure, it's a hole in your pocket, but this is a very powerful console, and I think it fits it just about perfectly. So tell me, what game are you most excited for? Exclusive game for Xbox One? Tell me in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like or the dislike button corresponding to how you felt about this video. And I will catch you guys later.